Spoken to by the referee, and surely it can't happen twice. Roger Milford gave him the benefit of a lecture, and this time the book is out. Well, that's a bit unnecessary, isn't it? It's all getting a little unpleasant between those two players.
There it is, the yellow card for him.
Well, he might well have had the yellow card the first time round, so he can't really complain.
I think Steve Hodge a little bit unlucky to join him there, because he got involved as a result of Andy Gray really confronting him, and Stevie Hodge, for me, a bit unlucky.
Yes, I'll make it 5 cautions now. There are players out there on a very thin line, especially as we could have extra time. Well, there'll be plenty of tired legs out there, but Mark Bright showing a turn of pace against Gary Charles, who's equal to it. Oh, but didn't pass the ball back very well, and Crossley had to come, and was he outside his area when he handled that? I think he was. It was the back pass from Charles that caused the keeper to come that far, and here with 2 minutes to go in normal time, Crystal Palace have got a free kick right on the goal line. And Young is coming in. Header by Salako finds Wright. They've still got the penalty area packed with players, and Wright's done well to get round the back here. It's a good cross, away by Chettle. It's going to come to Andy Gray. Wright again. Brighton Thorne jumping, and round the post, I think, by Charles. And we're now in the last couple of minutes, and it's Crystal Palace who are looking the more likely scorers in normal time. And Young is up at the post, and so is Thorne. It was Crosby who half cleared it. Hooked back in again by Gray. And it's Wright for Palace. Good skill again from him, but he couldn't kick it far enough. Only as far as Pearce, in fact. Parker. Thomas challenges him. Bright is cutting off the pass back to the goalkeeper, and Palace is still keeping the ball in the Forest half. McGoldrick. Play on. And it's Keane. Crowd urging Forest to make a last effort before we have the extra half hour. Crosby, but it's Gray, and it will be extra time here at the City Ground. 1 goal each after 90 minutes in the replay, and Brian Clough has some talking to do before they restart. Well, 180 minutes of cup football between these two teams, and they still can't be separated. Brian Clough drifting back to his position on the bench. Coming inside in this time. It's a good run. Clough. And he just couldn't find Crosby with the return. Those intricate movements of Forest have tended to founder on a very stern Palace defence tonight. And Steve Hodge, a good burst from the midfield. He'll have to go alone at the moment, and that's going to be nothing. Didn't get the referee's nod of approval there, Steve Hodge, but Forest look as though they're probably having more of the play in extra time. They're working the ball out wide to Crosby at every opportunity, and they've got 5 other players in attack here. This is Charles. Oh, that may have clipped the post. But the goalkeeper maybe gets credit for getting a hand to it. It was a strong cross from Gary Charles, and I think Nigel Martin turned it away. Now it's a corner to be taken by Parker. And here he is again. And Wilson with a chance. On by Clough, and hooked away. Spectacular style by Andy Gray, who performed the scissor kick in his own 6-yard box there.
Just rescued Nigel Martin, who just for once didn't quite get to the cross, slapped it a bit, and then it all ended up with a bit of a scramble.
Good spell for Forest here in extra time. Crosby's corner. And Salako fails to get it away. This is Charles. Hodge, let it run. Off Young, Wilson. And Forest look as though they mean business here. This is Pearce. Clough. And Pearce! Oh, what a goal! That's brilliant! That's a terrific piece of football by Nottingham Forest. And Nigel Clough and Steve Hodge get nearly as much credit as Stuart Pearce, the scorer. It was a super move, and even the goalkeeper's delighted. Now that is a classic piece of football in what, by and large, has been an unexceptional match. And Nigel Clough's ability to play a little ball dinked up from that position, so familiar. But I think you'll find that's Hodge, who heads it down, and look at the finish from England's Stuart Pearce. He plays the first ball, Pearce. That's what makes it just a good and special goal. And then he continues his run, and he's in the right place, left back if you don't mind, on the right-hand side of the 6-yard box to make it 2-1 to Forest, 7 minutes into extra time. What a good goal supply from that somewhat unfamiliar position. But it's Palace on the attack now. There's a chance for Wright. And not far away. Well, Graham Taylor, I said he was going to be watching Wright closely tonight. I'm sure that's so, but he'll be pleased to see the England left-back Stuart Pearce in such dominating form again.
It was poor marking, actually, by Forest. A little bit lax there, and sort of opportunity, and Wright sometimes does tuck away.
Chettle. Walker. Nigel Clough. I would think Forest would be advised to carry on where they've left off. This is Crosby now. Oh, Gray and Hodge, the linesman's flag's up, but Keane now, the referee had already blown. That's a shame, Trevor, because if an advantage had been applied there, Forest would have been 3-1 up. But Roger Milford has seen his linesman flag. I think it's a foul here by Andy Gray, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, he's bumped into, presumably, Hodge, is it? And the flag goes up, you see, and the referee sees it and blows and deprives Keane of what would have been the third goal. Indirect free kick for obstruction. It's Clough, and it's Humphrey behind for a corner. We might not have time to go into that, but I do honestly feel there that the officials could have let Forest play on. Anyway, they have a corner, and Gary Parker's going to take it. Clough has gone for a short one. Chettle coming near post. Wilson, Nigel Martin doesn't seem to be quite sure where the ball is when he comes off his line, and Wilson shot wide.
That one, as you say, just cleared the front two, and he wasn't expecting it. And Terry Wilson on his left foot, not his favourite foot, and just leaning back, skied it over. Shame from Forest's point of view on that advantage. Very difficult officials. It definitely was a free kick.
And the service out to Crosby in this first period of extra time has been of a very high order. Deflection off Thorne. It's going to go out for a corner. But Crosby's seeing so much of the ball. It's an absolute winger's delight, this succession of passes that are going out to the right wing. There's Keane on the near post with Chettle. Hodge in the 6-yard box as well. It's come back to Parker. Oh! Well, Steve Hodge, of all the midfield players in the country, probably takes up some terrific goal-scoring positions in the opposing penalty area. He darts in where least expected, and it was really unlucky for him in a way that his injury throughout the World Cup prevented him even sitting on the England bench when it really mattered.